Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. It's time for another live cast. Today I've got a Wonder Game. Lo and behold, it's been way too long since we've had a Wonder Game. Okay, not really, but I got forwarded this replay by, I think, 5 different people as an epic example of a facepalm. So hopefully this will be a good game. I did not preview it for the sake of hilarity because I wanted to experience it with you guys. I was informed that there is one desync, but it's from someone leaving and it doesn't actually affect the outcome of the game. So we're just going to dive in and enjoy it. Let's go ahead and introduce the teams and then we'll jump into it. We've got Flamboyant Seal on the northern side in the brilliant yellow color, taking UEF. In the air slot, UEF not so great, but not unwinnable. And then we've got Yogg taking Cybern on the right-hand side, Cav with Seraphim in the mid lane, and Samson taking Cybern on the left flank. Cybern is kind of useful on the outside edges because generally speaking its units are the fastest, so it's going to be able to get stuff all around in the outside edges, and that should do great, fantastic things for you as far as early harassment goes. Dylan C, I guess is that name. He is taking Seraphim on the right flank of the southern team. Then we have Avenger taking Cybern on the left, the mid held down by Trident Archer taking Cybern as well, and then Aeon for a Colby. I guess his name is Colby and he is a Colby. We'll just go with that. He is taking blue. And Aeon, always a good choice for the air slot. That dominant T2 air has won many a game, even though other slots may not be doing so well. All right, we got our first Mantis online. That is coming down from Samson, and as I mentioned just a minute ago, fast units, fast tanks. That's lets you get in behind everything and eliminate some of these expansioneers that are trying to build these mexes in the back. Mantis has sighted it. He's going to close in and kill that son of a gun and hopefully get out before the ACU comes in. Well, ACU is going to head north. Good reaction. Better to have the ACU on the front line and have a Mantis or two of your own chase down this offending intruder, but you just lose too much time sending the ACU back. I think the tank is the better choice in the vast majority of circumstances. We've got pretty typical expansion going on up here. Flamboyant Seal taking a long time to get his air factory online. But I suppose that's okay because Colby is really not doing it any quicker. But Colby is getting his mechs faster. Let's see, we are down to 3 mechs remaining down here and 4 on the north side. Yes. Wonder is always a little bit confusing. I'm never quite sure which mechs are mine and which are not. I think the correct formation is these 2 mass extractors go to mid, and these 2, or the right flank, and these 2 go to the left, because that gives everyone a total of 8 expansion mexes with 10 for the rear player. So I think that makes the most sense. This Mantis is about to chow down on its 3rd engineer and counting, still getting around to the back. It's now being pursued by a Mantis, but it is going to get some more damage done before it gets taken out. And then we have a couple of T1 tanks just kind of staring at each other on the north side. And it's odd because they're on opposite sides from what their team colors should be. All right, Tham is going to die to Mantis due to that missed shot. We've got air scouts out for Colby, doing a very good job of being a helpful teammate. Anytime you can provide some extra vision and some intel for your team, you're doing them a huge favor, and that is kind of the air player's job. If you're going to take the air slot, it's best to be doing such things. Hunter versus 2 tanks. Not a very good matchup. That is overkill, like squashing a gnat with a sledgehammer right there. Hunters are going to pull back a little bit. Not sure why hunters were being built, but we will just let that be. I suppose since this is a facepalm cast, that would be pretty typical of gameplay in such a game, but we'll just leave that one alone. Mantis pulling around. We're seeing some pause right here, and just a quick explanation for those of you who don't know. I've had people ask me this in the past. If you double click your mass extractors, hit the upgrade button, let it go for about 2 ticks till you see your mass dip in your economy window, and then pause them, you can send a group of engineers around to all the paused mass extractors and upgrade them one at a time. It's kind of like an upgrade queue. You don't have to sit there and individually click on every single mechs. The engineers will just assist it when it's done upgrading. There you go, see it unpauses, and there's your upgraded mass extractor. Cool beans. Now we're having a little bit of a terrain issue with this tank. It is trying to kill a mass extractor. Luckily his companion is not quite so inhibited, but you gotta watch that terrain when you're firing with a low slung unit like any of the T1 tanks. Mantis running all around here. I have been playing almost exclusively Cybern recently. I have fallen in love all over again with that faction. Just the speed and the versatility of all of the different units is incredibly fun to play with. They have some unique options as well, like the fire beetles and stuff. I'm not going to go into a whole long spiel about them, but I do love Cybern because I am a troll at heart, and that just plays to my interest. Now, Colby is going to end up with a huge economy because he's claimed all of these rear mechs for himself, whereas we're seeing the more traditional spread down here, although there is one unclaimed. Never want to see an unclaimed mass extractor ever. That is bad. Heap bad, Juju. Actually, oh, that was that Mantis. Mantis at work. But Colby is going to probably outpace Flamboyant Seal by a very wide margin, even though you would think that a Flamboyant Seal would have a much greater economic backing than something like a Colby. T1 Bomber winging around from Dylan C. That's already got 3 kills on it, and it is homing in on that land factory, going to lay down a little bit of damage, take a T1 Engineer with it, and loop around for another pass. As long as you can keep a factory locked like that, T1 Bombers can actually be a very handy tool. 2 T1 Bombers spaced off from each other will never allow anything to build out of the factory unless it's super heavily assisted, because they will kill the unit on the platform every pass. These 5 Mantis don't look like much, but they're going to wreak some havoc on the backside of this base. T1 Bomber coming in, but it is going to have a wide miss thanks to a little bit of good micro from Trident. And those guys are going to hang around, wipe out almost all the engineers that Cav has, and even lay down some damage on the eco back there. Yag was trying to push around the outside edge here, but he had to fall back due to this T1 point defense. Dylan also has the gun upgrade, which kind of throws a damper on anything Yag has planned. I commend the effort to get around the outside edge, but it's really not feasible when there's a point defense and a commander right there. T1 Bombers coming in on their kamikaze runs as well, although in this instance it's not a kamikaze run because there's absolutely no air. The only person who has interceptors is Cav, and I find that kind of hilarious because he is the lowest ranked player in this game and he has more air than his air player has. Yeah, not the best situation to be in. TAC missiles coming in towards the back, that is going to really put a damper on the party in the back here. Already falling behind in eco for Flamboyant Seal, and that hit is just going to knock him even further behind. Well-placed TAC missile for Trident Archer. And this may be a misstep here. Dylan C wandered out too far into the forest. He has got a pile of Mantis pursuing him. Those are going to be coming into point defense range in just a second. That ACU would have been in danger, except for the fact that Trident Archer was a helpful teammate and sent some T1 units in of his own. I would have loved to see an overcharge right there in that bunch. That would have been a 6-kill overcharge, well worth the power dump. Still have TAC missiles coming into the back. That is 3 mass extractors down, and Flamboyant Seal is in the middle of what I assume is the resource allocation upgrade because it is that time of the match. He's pulling in 1.4k power, 300 higher than Colby is. Colby is, at the moment, not too interested in RAS. He's going to get his second power generator down, which is a good indicator of RAS to come. But for the moment, he is going to stay on T2 Air. Not a bad thing overall for Aeon, because the Swift Winds are going to be able to hold their own against the first few in ASF that come out. Avenger trying to build a T2 point defense up front and making the common mistake of building his first point defense too far forward with no units able to defend it and no T1 point defense down in advance. If you're going to start a fire-based push and you have no units backing you and your opponent has a ton of spam, the T2 point defense with the longer build time and the higher cost is probably the worst thing that you can possibly build on your front line. you need to throw down a T1 point defense, possibly 2, to prevent the inevitable overwhelming of your position by that spam. And then you want to throw down a T2 point defense behind your ACU and then start creeping so that you have that cover fire in the rear. Trident Archer once again coming to the aid of a teammate that was in trouble. Avenger has just been saved by the flaming pink Mantis Swarm. Not sure what that says about his macho at the moment, but yeah. We've got... let's see, a fair bit of reclaim here. Not too terribly much. I was about to say there is a glorious feast prepared at the table of this left-hand side, but I don't think it's quite there yet. However, with the Cerberus turret calmly plinking away at T1 units, there is going to be a rapidly accumulating pile of wreckage to be had. Yet another push by Trident Archer. He has built so many Mantis this game and used them in a lot of different situations that have been extremely helpful for his team. This is going to be yet another push into Cav's base. Cav just does not have anything. No point defense, no combat units, no defenses of any kind. Trident Archer is going to be able to just wipe the floor with this economy in the back, and no one is going to be able to stop him. There's a T2 upgrade. There will be an Ilsheva, let me be correct here, in just a few minutes, but the damage is already going to be done by the time that thing gets off the factory assembly line. And Mantis moving up again. Dylan C, not enough on the table to shut down that intrusion from Yogg. So Trident Archer, this is a combination of having a lot of extra spam and having an opponent who is not pushing you. See, not being aggressive does not just mean that you're sitting there and no one's bothering you. Not being aggressive means that you're freeing up your mirror to go bother other people. And right now we're going to engage in a vicious game of Ring Around the Rosie. We've got the right-hand team advancing on the north side of the map and the left-hand team advancing on the south side of the map, pulling around, going to kill off that power generator, winging all the way around the Cerberus turrets, of which there is only one. So I guess I should not... well, nope, there's two. I can use the plural. I was correct the first time. All right. The one bad thing in this instance is that Cerberus turrets basically don't do any damage. They're made for shredding T1 units and in large quantities, maybe stopping T2 units, but overall they don't really do that well. So Samson is going to be able to brave the damage and move forward, but here comes a T2 transport full of, wait for it, more Mantis. But it looks like those are going to go all the way around the outside edge. They have been sighted. They have been pinged. But you know what? The North team doesn't have any air to deny it with. There is a grand total of 3, count them, 3 interceptors on the entire north side, and so this transport is basically going to be able to do whatever it wants. And whatever it wants is to off-map and then lose its move order, so it's just going to kind of chill out on the cliff there for a minute. We will check back with him when he comes back online. But these Mantis on the north side are doing plenty of damage on their own. Holy cow. And then we've got air making up the difference for Samson's side. Samson is trying to push as hard as he possibly can, but it's hard when you now have 4 Cerberus turrets, a couple of T1 point defense, and then a swarm of gunships over you. The only thing that I can see that's going to be helpful in his death is the fact that if this air stays where it's at, he's going to basically take out the entire Southern Air Force in one shot. And there goes a T2 mass extractor in the back. Those Mantis are going to do their job. And that is exactly what I was afraid of. There goes all the air. Although I'm not going to say that gives the air advantage to the northern team because there is no air. And there's an ASF just to prove me wrong. Okay. T3 upgrade is going down. We do have resource allocation on that ACU, but not double RAS. And so if we can get 3 or 4 ASF online in the northern side, which is not happening at the moment because he's having to recover his position with gunships, we can get 3 or 4 ASF on the northern side. That will be a net air win. And that TAC launcher is still going, still pounding away at these positions. There is no TMD to deny it, and even if there was, it's the Cybern TAC, so it's going to split and impact anyway. T2 mass extractors going down left and right. This is just horrible. How... my goodness. Okay, so at the moment, I'm going to say Trident Archer's probably MVP because he saved both sides multiple times and completely obliterated the eco of a couple of players at this point. It is now a 3 versus 4 situation, and we just about have 4 intact bases on the southern side. Yes, there's some minor damage to some of them, but for the most part, they are all there. Cav is pretty far out in front for just having his ACU, although he is starting to push more Ilshivas. This will help him in just a few minutes because that T2 jump is going to be able to overpower the Mantis spam. Ilshivas just put a complete and total stop to Mantis spam once you get enough of them in. If you kite, now if he keeps just running his Ilshivas straight into the masses like he's doing here, then yes, they will die, but Ilshis have a huge range advantage. Here comes a swarm of T2 gunships. He now has 2 ASF. If he starts pumping only ASF and getting things online and rushed to the southern side here, he would actually be able to wipe out Gray before they could really do anything about it because Colby does not have any air left. I don't think at all. He's got 2 interceptors, and that's it, which the ASF can kill in one pass. Aeon tanks. Why is he building Auroras? I do not know, and I am not going to try to figure it out. T2 is online for Yag. He is going to be pushing forward with some hoplites and trying to get around the outside edge here, which honestly there's not a whole lot to stop him. There are 2 T2 point defense and a third going down, although these are Seraphim point defense, which means they're highly, highly efficient. T2 gunships coming around the outside edge. That is going to go directly for, you have got to be kidding me, directly for a commander. There's a flak coming online. That's going to be close. The flak is going to do a fantastic job of knocking down gunships, but not if it's dead. There goes the flak. That was the only chance of survival, and I think we're about to see another ACU explosion. This one is going to be on the right-hand side, and it's going to free up this entire area for an intrusion by Yag. And mobile flak was coming in. I appreciate the effort. It was a valiant try, but no. Denial. Dylan C goes up in flames, and now this entire right-hand side is just going to go blank. Thankfully, there will be a lot of reclaim there for whoever gets to it, but this is going to be difficult to close off because we have a large T2 force for Yag, and not a whole lot for Trident Archer. Okay, I've got to say, this is hilarious in the reversal of what's going on here. Because we had 1 player death that was directly caused by the other side not building any air. And now we have a death on this side, strictly due to the fact that someone was not building any air. So I guess all's fair in war, and all's fair in this game because we've had an exact mirror. But that's just hilarious. It's like, you just killed someone due to their lack of air, and now you're going to flop around and make the exact same mistake. That tickles my humor a little bit. All right, the hoplites are going to be moving around the back edge here. They can potentially do a lot of damage, and yeah, 2 strap bombers on Trident Archer. Can you dodge? Yes, no, you cannot. Oh, 140 health. There goes 1 bomber. There's 1 lonely ASF out here and a 3,000 health strap bomber. Can he kill it? That's the question. There's also flak in line. 1 more dodge. 1 more dodge. No! Crap. That was so close. You have to completely reverse directions. You cannot go on a diagonal because the area of effect is so big on the UEF and Seraphim strap bombers that it is very, very difficult to dodge. You have to have a complete reversal on the correct timing in order to dodge those bombs. He was very, very close. Trident Archer almost cleared it, but not quite. All right. It was looking like a raffle stomp for the Southern team. I was actually starting to think that I shouldn't have casted this. And now look at the swap here. We have a complete and total domination by the Northern side. These guys are going to start tearing a new one in the Southern team. Yes, there's a lot of Cerberus turrets going down, but it's going to take quite a bit to stop these guys unless they're lucky enough for Cav to be dumb enough to just walk his ACU so far into the point defense coverage that he dies. And that's about all I can see happening here right now. There's 2 more Strat Bombers coming out. Those are going to be headed directly for an ACU snipe, I would imagine. And unless Colby can get his game together, this is going to end in a death. So many Cerberus turrets going to stop the T2 units. That is good. Here come the Strat Bombers and a clean sweep by Colby. He's going to lose all of his air again. And no! Don't do that. He turned to focus on the ASF and let the Strat Bomber clear. How is that helping anyone? No. Here comes a Mercy, though. Okay, we have ASF swarming around in every direction. We have interceptor coverage. Okay, good. I was about to say, if that gets through, I'm going to die a little bit inside. There goes another bomb. We've got 1 more that he can survive. And then after that, the next bomb kills him. 1,700 health on that Strat Bomber. And right now, the air factory is locked. Colby is trying to mop up all of these T1 units. I mean, come on. There's just T1 units, but there's so many of them, and he doesn't have any combat upgrades. Luckily, he has a T3 ACU. If I were him, I would be building T1 point defense, but he's going to do what he's going to do. And there goes Avenger. Kaboom! GG. And I think Colby's in the same boat. Well, that is a face palm if I've ever seen one. Holy cow. I don't think... Okay, I did a comeback. That was a cast on Tuesday, I think. No, that was Settins. I think it was Thursday. Anyway, I casted a vicious comeback the other day, and well, he's not dead yet. Okay, well, let's just keep watching this and see what happens. There's T2 gunships coming in. For some reason, he's still building Mercies, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. I casted that comeback, and I think that is the most destruction I've ever seen anyone come back from in a 1 versus 1 game. This is just about the worst I've seen come back from in this level of team game, because between that TAC missile launcher, between that must be the quit that they were talking about. So someone disconnected. Well, that's a good way to throw a game, but it's still 2 versus 1 with let's say 45% of the map under the control of these guys and only about 10% of the map under the control of Colby. This is about the most beaten I've ever seen a team of players, and they actually successfully came back and killed the other team, and it's strictly because of air. I mean, 100%. If there had been a few more ASF online, that was totally and completely preventable. I would like to know why Yogg quit, though. That is a question which I may never know the answer to. Perhaps he thought that the game was over and he had to go do something, so he went ahead and quit out and left his teammates to mop up. But, or maybe it was a rage because his spam failed. I do not know, but whatever the reason may be, that guy is gone now. It looks like we're going to see a massive T2 gunship spam setup. Restorer spam for Colby, and he's going to start throwing down a Galactic Colossus. He's pulling in 120 mass per tick thanks to a couple of T3 mass extractors. Let's go ahead and see what his layout is like. 121, and that is steady eco. That is not off of reclaim. So if you were to start these guys reclaiming, he would actually be able to break even and assist the build of this Galactic Colossus quite easily. He's got a lot of mass in storage, which is also helping him out. He should not have any trouble at all getting that Galactic Colossus online. The question is, can he get it across the map? Okay, his server was lagging and they asked him to get out. I was just informed by Bell. I'm not watching the chat. Sorry, guys. I will read it after the game. Okay, so that was a lag-induced quit. I can understand that. Yogg is forgiven. That makes sense. All right, the question is, can he get the Galactic Colossus across the map? There is a lot of T3 rolling in now. There is a complete and total lack of air coverage, which is actually being rectified as we speak by T1 anti-air. And the T1AA is just doing brutal things to these strat bombers. That is awesome. Okay, quick point about T1 anti-air. T1 anti-air is direct fire and can hit T3 units because it tracks so fast. It is not necessarily guided, and if it is, the turn rate is so slow that it doesn't help much. But T1 anti-air is very, very good at hitting single targets, and it also has the highest DPS per mass of any of the stationary anti-air. Flak cannot hit things as well. It does blanket damage with slow projectiles, and then SAMs are SAMs. So the masked T1 anti-air is actually a very, very good solution to strat bombers if you can build enough of it. Disadvantage being, when the strat bombers hit, they can wipe out large portions of your anti-air in one go. The Galactic Colossus is online, and Colby is basically down to only his spawn point. He has lost all of his outlying mexes. He's down to 104 income. A large portion of which I think is reclaim at this point. He's bouncing around to 221 and upwards. And there goes the Galactic Colossus on its march across the map. It was actually able to kill off most of the T3 units. We have some going left here. This is going to require a little bit of strategy because he only has one large combat unit, which he has to protect from air, and then he has to remember that if he sends the Galactic Colossus all the way across the map, the T3 tanks will be able to go around either flank, just missing the Galactic Colossus, and kill his ACU in the back. He is building another GC, but I doubt this one is going to go quite so quickly. Granted, he does have some T3 reclaim in the base here, but he does not have that huge amount of storage that he was drawing on to begin with. He had almost 11,000 mass in storage when he started that Galactic Colossus, which means that about half the GC was paid for. Better than half was paid for right when he started it. There goes the first ACU death. Galactic Colossus picking up a veterancy. It is down to 74k health, but the regen is going to be awesome on that. I am not going to try to guess whether a solution can be had in this situation. There is a severe lack of air. Look at this spread is hysterical. It is down to 1 versus 1 at opposite ends of the map with two guys with destroyed bases. We're pulling 54 and 81 mass with 6 and 7k power at 30 freaking minutes into the game. At this point, most of the time, you have 150 to 200 eco hitting the bank with well over 10k power. So we're basically down to nothing for both of these guys, and I think Colby is going to take the win on this. Flamboyant Seal is going to rage quit, and I don't blame him because this is insurmountable odds right here. The only thing that he could have done is start building T3 point defense as soon as he saw the GC coming this way, and he may have been able to kill that thing, but that is, wow. That was a confusing game. That will trip your head up a little bit. Well, good job to Colby for persevering in the face of all that difficulty, cranking out a GC, surviving just barely against all those T1 forces that were around his ACU before, and eventually getting to a win. It is too bad, really too bad, that Yogg had the lag problem. And I think probably the game looked so won. There was no way that they could have possibly lost that. So he's like, okay, I'll speed up the game. I'll leave. You two can go kill this guy. And then this happens. So, yeah. Moral of the story, don't quit until it's actually over because there is always a comeback to be had. All right, that's the strategic facepalm for today. I think we're going to call it right there as per usual. If you have any questions about anything, whether it be YouTube, whether it be the FAF client game, this game in particular, or in general, whatever you want to ask away. I'm going to kill 5 or 6 minutes here and read up on the chat, and then we will host a game and play together. I think it is a Wonder today. I don't think I've ever played a Wonder game with the guys in stream, so we're going to host up a wonder in just a few minutes. All right, I'm going to go quiet for a second. I'm going to catch up on the chat, and then I'll come back with some answers to your questions. All right, I'm back. I think the best suggestion by far for dealing this situation was the one involving creating a hole in the ground and airlifting a sub. That would be the perfect solution to this type of game scenario. And yes, the comeback is real due to the 1 unit carry. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and host up this wonder, and we will try to get it filled up, which it will probably fill up immediately, and then we will see what happens in that game. Stream's going to go black for just a second while I find this thing. I'm actually going to host the beta patch because some of the fixes are pretty good in there. If you want to know the changelog on that, I did post a video on it about a week and a half back. Explains all the changes and all that good stuff. I'm going to host under 1800 just because bad things happen in these types of games when 2,000 players come to troll. So we're just going to do this. And let me get the wonder map. I think all of my settings are already correct, so it should not take too long. We're going to do 5 versus 5. Version 3 on the open map because I love the open map. The closed in one gets just a little bit too static for my taste. So we're going to go ahead and take an open playing field and we're going to do all random spawns just so there's no balance arguments. Can't argue with the RNG. Well, actually you can, but we're not going to today. And do randoms with locked teams, and everything else should be taken care of except for I need to turn off full share because I was playing settings last because I play a lot of settings. People have probably noticed this. All right, we're good. And actually getting a good mix of players up here first. We're all in a very tight rank range, and that usually makes for good games. TA for life. I just casted a ladder game. Oh, no, I didn't. I was about to say on a new map. That was a 3 versus 3. I will try. I will try. People need to send me replays. If you see any good ladder games, please send them my way. Replays have been a little bit sparse recently. The only things I ask are that you preview them so that we can make sure that there's no desync issues. And then the second thing is please don't send me raffle stomps unless it's something just so absolutely hilarious that I have to see it, because stompings are not that much fun to watch. They're fun to play. They're not that much fun to watch. And if you want to send me a replay, actually, let me do this. I've never done this in a cast, and this would be helpful to some people so you know exactly what you're looking for. Let me pick up the monitor here on the recorder, and I will show you exactly what you're looking for. Let's do monitor. There we go. This is the beauty of the FAF client. Down here on the bottom, we have a replays tab. If you click that, you can go to the vault, in which you can search by people or map or ranking or mod or whatever. It doesn't work great some of the time, but you can usually fairly easily find the game that you're looking for. And then local archive is your replays. If you double click, here's one that I played. I think that was no, that's today. That is today. If you right click it, you can show an explorer. And right there, this replay number is what I need. And if you have the ability to file share, if you can actually share this file with me, this has less of a chance of being desynced than the copy that is on the server. So you just need to send that number, or preferably the entire file. You can link me the number by any of the messaging systems, YouTube, on FAF, by email, or on Twitter. All of that is in the description, links to every bit of that. And then if you want to send me the actual file, you can attach it to an email or send it to me on the forum. And my username is the same across the board. So that is what you got to do. All right, let me get back into this lobby here, and we will see what is going on. All right. One more slot to fill, and a lot of people in observers, and I'm not sure why. Let's see. Someone's wanting to switch. I'm not switching anybody. This is random spawns, and it's first come, first serve. So sorry if that messes up anybody, but I'm not getting involved with the whole politics of deciding who and who is not going to be in this game. I'm going to take the random factions. The only person that I am going to veto, I do sincerely apologize to Legendary, but you have a 387 CPU score, which is going to slow this game down horrendously. So I am going to have to remove you. I am sorry, but need to get a new CPU. All right, somebody else get in. All right, Google is taking the bait. All right, exit up. And as per usual, we have connection issues. Fantastic. That's what you get for peer-to-peer connections in a game with this many players. Inevitably, someone will be connected that can't really make it in. So we're going to try a rejoin real quick and see what happens. Actually, it is also to do with Max. I'm going to get him to rejoin as well, I think.
Group disbanded.
Okay. We have connection established, so that is rock solid.
Group formed.
And here comes Google.
Group formed.
Nope, he can't connect. He's on the proxy again. All right, sorry. This should launch. Get in, blasted. Blast it, blast. Get in. There we go. Launch! That took long enough. Now, hopefully, my internet will not die again. The proxy connection is something that really helps in a lot of cases because it will act as a relay for two people who could normally not connect to each other. The problem is that every once in a while, somebody's connection will really freak out and they will connect by proxy to every single player in the lobby, and then the ping just gets crazy and it cannot launch the game. I don't know why it does that sometimes. If it does, usually if you restart the FAF client, it will fix it. But, well, if it does happen, can't really help it and can't play. If the game did launch, your ping would be like 900 to several different people, and then we wouldn't get the game anyway. All right, so let's check out the teams here. I've got Unbalanced above me. Then we got Google, Unorthodox Box, and Roke. That is actually a really good team. I am happy with this. We should have a pretty good chance of winning it. We got Akanabis and Smurf Hunter on the other team, both of whom are pretty dang good Wonder players, so we will have our work cut out for us, but it's not an impossible game. However, due to the curse of the caster, I will probably end up losing horribly like I normally do. But it is not to be helped. We're going to go ahead and do the stupidest build that we can think up because, yeah, I am a moron and I play like a moron, and either my troll options work and I win awesomely, or they fail and I lose terribly. Let's go ahead and pick up these 3 are mine, I do believe. We're going to pick up that and that and that, and then do a little bit of attack move reclaim. Let's see. I think this engineer we are going to go grab some reclaim with. We got a wreck there and a wreck there, and then we can go around all the rocks. Should work out very well. And then the next engineer that we have, we will claim both of the forward mass extractors and start laying down some land factories to get up some spam. And yeah, floating rocks. This version of Wonder has the little-known levitating boulders. It is an ancient species that a lot of people have adopted as pets. They caught on for a while on Earth. Unfortunately, in Earth gravity, they do not levitate, which is highly unfortunate, but the pet rocks were a pretty good business for a while. Just didn't hang on quite long enough. Throw down a mass extractor, and can't quite get adjacency on those. I wonder why. Oh well, we will live with it. Let's see what's happening over here on this mass extractor. Ah, there we go. So we're going to start our stream of engineers over here. Okay. Scouting a couple bombers. We're going to put that on repeat so that we can do some good harassment. We're going to start our first mass extractor upgrade, and I'm actually going to blip a second one so we're not wasting all that mass. There we go. And to the front. When this stops building, we should be looking pretty good on our income numbers. If we can get the mass extractor upgrades that I need, then we should be able to pump out all of these factories full tilt, no problemo. And I'm actually going to pull this engineer off of assisting duty to go suck up some of these rocks here. That's going to give us some assistance on getting these things upgraded without too much of a problem. Don't overflow mass, don't overflow mass, but power is going to be a problem. Okay, what do we got here? Need to find a nice, tasty target for this thing. Maybe over here in this base. There's a whole clump of engineers. That looks like something good. Let's do that. That looks like fun. Actually, I have 2 bombers, so we can hit both of them. And gonna go for that one because these are probably gonna clump up right by the factory. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're gonna go for that power generator over there. Should work out pretty well. See, our eco is sitting. We're going to walk right up to the edge of this and try to grab some of these rocks here. And there's a bomber. Thankfully, my air player's paying attention, so that is a good thing. Let's hit some of these tanks over here. Alright. Making progress. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? We are 25 mass in the hole at the moment, which means that we're going to have to do some reclaiming to make up the difference. Let's pull off 2 of our engineers here, and we're going to start a reclaim pattern on that side, which should let us balance out reasonably well. Okay. And now we got our first round of combat units. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to push my ACU up north with unbalanced, and we're going to go ahead and try to double team blue. I think this will work out reasonably well, and I am pumping out enough units on this factory that I should be able to hold my side without much of a problem. We're going to throw down a mass extractor there with another radar. Actually, my first radar got destroyed, so that would be my singular radar. And that will give us some intel on this side. Slowly continuing my power spam. Let's go ahead and try to hit nice clumps of units here. It would be a shame if something happened to them. There goes the T1 bombers. I need an overcharge. That's what I need. Alright. This is 100% artillery, which is a mistake at any point, because if you only have artillery, then tanks win hands down every single time with no contest. So that is a bad decision. Never want to go 100% artillery. Want to wing to the right-hand side to kind of separate myself from that oncoming commander. Oh, that's a gun comp. Ah, no, buddy. That's bad. That is very bad. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fall back. If I don't fall back, we're going to lose to that combination. So I'm going to use my units to front, and we're going to get back. Okay. Safe for the moment, but there's a T2 point defense, which means we have a T2 commander somewhere. Let's start T2. Let's also upgrade our mass extractor, and we should be able to grab a T2 upgrade in the back. Let's see how many engineers we can wrangle up here. Send them all to the front line and assist this commander in the world's fastest T2 upgrade. So we're going to have to knock this sucker out very quickly to stop this mess. Oh, he's not actually pushing. What the crap? Why? You have a perfect opportunity on an opponent that is falling back to press an advantage, and you're not going for it. Not the best, bud. Okay then, well, we will take full advantage of this, and we will go ahead and get our T2 upgrade, which is going to sap a lot of resources. Let's pause our factories to hopefully knock this thing out quicker. Maybe we won't power stall. I think we have enough storage, and then with the mass stall, yeah, there we go, balance. Check on everybody else here. Looks relatively stalemated on the southern side. I know what he's doing right here. He's trying to bait me into getting in range of that T2 point defense. But I am not going to let him have it. I'm going to do something sneaky here in just a minute. Or try to do something sneaky in just a minute here. Alright, let's see. Got plenty of T1 bombers. Let's cause a little havoc. Okay. Everything looks safe for now. For now. Alright, Blast Chilled is on opposing air, and we have Roke on ours. So I think we have a pretty good chance of winning air. There's not a lot of early air, which is mildly concerning, but I think we will be fine. And coverage is pretty dang good, so I think we're good. That's more damage than I would like, but he had both bombers aimed at the same unit, so no... Oh, crud. And here comes the freaking... Alright, throw that down. You're not getting away with that, buddy. Build, build, build. I know, I know. If I can get the buzzkill online, though, it will kill that. There we go. That is why you read the changelog, folks. The trajectory of the ACU TML was changed, so it no longer flies over front TMD. So that way, now when the Seraphim TML goes past, it will actually die to that. So, great improvement with the new beta patch. I am very, very happy. We're going to go ahead and bomb out that point defense. What does suck, though, is that I lost 2 of those, which is not cool, but it'll be okay. Alright. Get a little scouting done. And he is going for another upgrade. Looks like right arm, which would be gun upgrade, because he already has the T2. Oh, stealth units. Hot dog. That was a really, really good move by Blast Chilled. He just, that is a T1 transport, so it can hold 2 T2 units, or 3 T2 units, I'm not sure. Probably 3. And he was able to drop pairs of rhinos and stealth units into the backs of the bases, which is a nightmare to deal with. Absolute nightmare. Okay, so let's see if we will be able to flood. Oh, that was a normal TML. Cool beans. That wasn't even the big scary one. Since when does that happen? No big scary units. Alright, we are going to wipe out that group of tanks with a pair of bombers. Once this comes online, I will actually be able to tac missile the point defense up there, and then that should let me break this flank pretty dang easily. The only bad thing about this is the fact that I am still hurting for mass. I sucked up all the reclaim from these fights. There is not a whole lot of trees left. The engineers have been doing a pretty dang good job in the back here. Let me reissue those orders just to make sure that they've cleaned everything up. That is the bad. Oh, come on. Really? And this is what I was talking about with the curse of the caster. Everyone wants to be the one to kill off of the base of the person streaming. So, yeah. 2 people side by side building tac launchers to try and get missiles into my base. Well, congrats. You won. You did it. Good job. Let's see. We're going to turn on our missiles here and kind of push up towards the front a little bit. We've got some tanks moving in, though. I'm actually going to take care of these. I'm going to move to the back and hit those. We are going to need some TMD here. And I'm pretty much screwed no matter how. Oh! Crap. Yup, gonna be the first to die once again. I know there's a shield over there, but if I stop running in circles, I'm dead. Alright, let's try. I'm not sure why this is running so poorly. I usually do not have this much trouble with frame rate loss. Let me see if I can pull up Mr. Task Manager and set this to run on a different core. That helped out. That helped out tremendously. There we go. And still launching away with the freaking tac. And that is a Cybran, I think, maybe? Nope. 2 health. It's that one right there. Okay, just a normal tac launcher. So many units! One of the great battles of our era. Okay, not really. But the Mongoose are pretty cool firing, you gotta admit. That angled up grenade launcher. And I had no mass to begin with, and now there is even less. Shame, shame, shame. Oh, no, you don't. Good deal. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Overwhelming force of units. Brilliant. Ah, somebody donated a couple of shield gens. Very nice. Very helpful. Alright, we're going to take care of that reclaim. And I am going to lay down some tax on these guys and hopefully overcome these pretty easily. Nope. There's the TMD. Oh well. I'm gonna have to fall back. Nope. Alright. I'm running. I'm getting. Okay. Screw that. We're going for eco upgrades. Let's see. We're pulling in a pretty good bit of reclaim, so I'm going to go ahead and dump another mechs on. Hopefully that will stall a bit. Let's run up. And we're going to throw down some T1 point defense in the safety of our base here. Although units are not really pursuing, so that's a good thing. Southern side of this map is just getting wrecked. Kudos to Google and Unorthodox Box for actually doing something helpful. Unlike me, who's just kind of chilling here, barely surviving. Woohoo! This is really good, actually. We're going to see a push all the way into the back of the base by a shielded group of tanks with its own anti-air. This is the ideal raid group right here. Don't want to do that. Okay. It's going to be able to protect itself from most threats, including a point defense that it basically just mowed down, and even air. So very, very nice. Hit up another point defense. It looks like all of our T2 mechs upgrades have cleared, so we're going to start some ones in the back, and then let's assist, and we will try for some ringing. Okay. It's a lot to throw on our plates, but once this is done... Oh, that's attack... no TMD. I forgot about that. Yeah, let me build one or two of those, just so I don't get sniped off for no reason. Unorthodox box, still doing brilliantly. He's forcing T3 land from Blast Chilled, which is going to cripple his air production capabilities, and Roke is already rapidly catching up. We do have a Strat Bomber coming in, hitting the P-Gens. There's already resource allocation on the ACU, so that's not too critical. But anytime you can kill power for the air player, it's a good thing because that will slow down his production. And Blast Chilled is getting hammered by these T2 tanks. I don't know, with that power kill, that may have actually put him low enough in power. Nope, there's overcharge. Okay, so he's not stalled, which is good, but he's still taking a lot of fire. I don't think there's enough units here to finish the job, though, unless a Strat Bomber were able to break through and land one hit on that commander. That would finish it. One bomb is all it would take. I don't think he could stop it either. Let's see. 4 mechs. I'm going to wander out here a little bit farther than is healthy to suck up some reclaim for the sake of getting this other mass extractor online. Is that? Oh no, that's tack. Okay. A little too far forward. Ah, I missed him. How could I miss at that point blank range? Alright, hit, little missile, hit. And... bullseye! Not that it does any good, but whatever. Is that a sniper bot that's hitting? No, he doesn't have T3. So what is it? Artillery? Yes, artillery. Right there. Okay, so that's how we're playing this. There's no shielding on it that I can tell, and there's no air coverage. So, let's see how much damage these bombers can do. Actually, let's ground fire and go right in the middle there. It's going to kill all of the engineers and hopefully do some damage to the artillery. Should do very, very nicely. Bingo! 600 health remaining on those. 225. 2 more bombers. We will actually... Oh, crap. Right in the back. Look at his health's at. Huh. Well, he stopped there for a minute, but he's not going to stick around. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Pulling 50 mass per tick. Let's go ahead and get these 2 upgrades running. Let's go ahead and cap off the rest of our mass extractors. We're going to start a T3 upgrade and the Percival Swarm that we will hopefully one day command. Going to start a T3 upgrade on this side. It's going to be 27 in the hole, which is a little more than I would like, but I think we'll be fine. Let's see. Let's pull these guys off, see what our eco looks like. 3 bombers. He's reclaiming his T2 artillery because I'm out of reach now. Not a bad plan, actually. Not a bad plan at all. We're going to have to be careful on this, though, because they are starting to regroup. And Blast Chill does have a very large eco. Not bigger than Roke, but it is threatening nonetheless. Okay. Let's see. Minus 17 with 1K in storage. I think we'll actually be able to float this. Let's go ahead and assist the factory, because we're about to finish a mass storage there, which is going to free up a little bit more eco. Ooh, nice ping. We've got Ilshis coming around the top edge. Thankfully, ASF are on the case. That transport's going to get swatted out of the air. Bam. Nicely, nicely done. Bricks versus Percivals. We all know that Percivals win in the bigger groups, but in this case, where you have a pair of bricks focus fired on one Percival at a time, Percys are going to lose. Got to be able to clump those things up to eliminate the damage potential of the larger group very, very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to die. All right, we're halfway on our T3. We're clearing positive numbers here, and we're at 17, so we got 25 to subtract. There we go, minus 4. That looks like pretty good eco numbers to me. So I think we're going to ride with that T3 Mex upgrade on track. I'm going to hit up a assist right there on that. And with these, and then as soon as those are done, they're going to go to the T3 factory and start spitting out Percivals. I'm going to go second T3 Mex upgrade on this one, which is technically an oh, that is a dead commander, my friends. That is exactly what a dead commander looks like. Seraphim Bomber has an even bigger area of effect than UEF does. And that is going to be devastating when it connects with that ACU. 1 Strat Bomber left alive. Is he going to get a bomb off? Yes, he is. And there's the connection. Oh my. Not quite. Wow. By the skin of his teeth, he's going to survive that. But here comes another Strat Bomber as well, so I don't think he's going to make it out of the next pass. There comes the Strat. There's a little dodge movement, and it's not going to be enough. ACU nuke. Pink is eliminated. No more annoying tack launcher to worry about in that middle lane. Yes. UEF is 6. I had them backwards. My bad. I'm thinking of the artillery because the Seraphim artillery has a bigger area of effect than the UEF artillery does, but the Strat Bomber is reversed. Okay. Thank you for the correction. I will remember that in the future. And right now I'm basically just chillaxing. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're right. Let's reclaim T1 power. Had a couple of people suggesting it. We're going to dedicate 2 engineers to the job. When you have long chains of power like this, you don't want to control K them, because if you do, they damage each other and the wrecks are worth less. Okay, we are going to, as soon as that is complete, we're going to throw down resource allocation. But with the ACUs nuking at this rate, I don't think this game is going to last long enough for me to actually do anything useful. However, I can just be happy that I didn't die, because I think for the last like 5 consecutive casts that I've played games in, I died. So just surviving is going to be a win at this point. Plus 59 mass. I think that's a pretty good indicator that that mech is complete. So let's go ahead and replace gun upgrade with resource allocation. All right, you need to assist there. I'm going to unpause you with T3 and making Percivals. Okay. Teleport defense. I think that is an appropriate warning. He's only got 2 T3 power generators, but I mean technically you can get teleport off of that if you sacrifice your air production. I think he's building too much air though. I don't think he has enough power to actually push a teleport upgrade, because the team also is not really helping him that much with the power situation. All right, once this is complete, I am going to walk my little self up here and try to nail some of these mass extractor points around the TMD. And I think I should probably give Unorthodox Box a special thank you at this point for saving my butt from another loss. There goes reality, throwing out the GG all around. And I think that is going to be it for this game. All right. As always, rather poor performance from me. All of the typical excuses of, you know, being distracted by talking and being picked on and all that other stuff. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Don't do what I do, do as I say, I think is what you need to take away from this. I think if I streamed more often, I would actually be able to do a better job of it, but whatever. Strat Bomber's moving in. That is going to finally put an end to this madness. Roke doing us all a favor. There's a lot of shields right there. Not sure. Oh, there is a Monkey Lord. What do we have here? I just gave up my gun upgrade too. I think I'm actually going to fall back just a tiny little bit. Let me throw down a Ravager. Could be useful. Oh no, we don't have intel. Hold on a second. Let's do this. This would be more helpful. Let's actually sight in where that Monkey Lord is. There's the Monkey Lord. Fire, fat boy. You got intel now. It's too late. It's going to die to that Monkey Lord, but it was worth a shot. Monkey Lord is faster than Fat Boy. The key is surviving long enough to get within firing range. And it actually doesn't look like he's going to. There is the defeat. I think due to Strat Bomber overload, but I'm not 100% sure. May have been a Control K. But anyway, Fat Boy is going to be able to kill the Monkey Lord, and I would bet money that's due to the fact that the Monkey Lord probably did not have intel, because I didn't see the long-range bolters firing either. The attack range on a Monkey Lord is bigger than the vision radius, kind of like Aurora's and a bunch of other units I could list off. So yeah, intel is critical. All right, good game all the way around to everybody involved, and a special thank you to my team for saving me from a horrible death that I probably should have prevented myself, but wasn't able to, so whatever. All right, that is going to wrap up the cast for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, had a facepalm, and then my facepalm. And I will see you guys next week. 2 regular casts. As always, remember, Tuesday and Thursday, those come out. If you have any replays that you want to send to me, Just preview them for desync, and then like I showed you guys in the middle of the cast, just hit me up with that file on any of the contact means in the description of this video, and I will see you guys in the next cast. As always, thank you so much for watching.